Yay. Okay, so we're here just a few minutes early. I'm going to turn off the digital district day because I'm seeing other people preparing for their session. It's very distracting. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi. So excited.
I know. Look at you wearing your Adobe sweatshirt. There we go. This is the only sweatshirt that I've come home with in recently that my daughter was like, wait, let me see that, and turns me around. I was like, this is gorgeous. Have you, like, I'll show you guys the back. Those are here early. It's got this.
You gotta move your hair so they can see it.
It's got a really cool
now,
illustration.
get a little closer. It's beautiful.
She actually took a picture and showed her friend. So that's how cool.
Love it.
All right. All right. We've got a couple more minutes until we're going to get started. Now, Lindsay, if you've got some cool jams, I've got, I had my window already. There we go.
Wait, I haven't been in Zoom for a while here since I've been living in Teams land. Can you still, for Zoom, just like play the music directly into your speakers? Does that still work for Zoom?
I can hear things.
You can hear things like music?
I can hear things, but I wouldn't say it's like great.
It's not like music. Okay, never mind.
No.
Do you want me to sing?
Yes, I'd actually prefer to sing. This is what we're all hoping that's going to happen here today, Lindsay. All right, I'm going to update this. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. This is going to be fun. Share my screen. I don't have any videos, so we should be good. Do this real quick. All right. Go back over here. Yay. Okay. I instead have forgotten Zoomland.
Oh, there's your slacks. You might want to got your slacks there.
I clicked on the wrong thing. So this is my share.
It was showing that I spam link you with Slack.
Yeah, well, everybody knew that ahead of time.
Everyone already knows that.
I clicked on the wrong Google Chrome. There we go. This is the right one. It was right next to that one.
Welcome everyone. Start in just a couple minutes.
All right, here we go.
That looks more like it.
I love this. This is why we shouldn't have to change back and forth between different kinds of spaces, because I always get lost in where I am. So I turn the chat on. And move this over here. All right, everybody, we are just about ready to get started. I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so.
Let's see. I'll test the chat out.
There it is. Okay, now it's over there. Fabulous. Now I can see it. I've got to see everything on my screen, or else I don't feel like I'm organized or set up or anything. So I move Lindsay over here so I can look right at Lindsay while I talk, and she can smile and make me feel excited to be here. Welcome, everybody. We are, let me check the time. We've got 1 more minute until we're supposed to be at launch. So absolutely, please use the chat to introduce yourself, what you teach or what you do. And and Siri is trying to help us over here. So she thought I was looking for Weird Al Yankovic for some reason and started Googling that.
Really?
Yeah, she just said, here's what I found for Weird Al Yankovic. I don't know, it's one of those mornings. So go ahead, and I'm going to make sure I'm to everyone in the meeting. Welcome, everybody. So I'm putting the link to today's session in the chat. It's also in the session description, and then Lindsay can continue to paste it as people come in and can't find it. So you can find it a few different places. It's just this little express page that I put together with all of our resources. And there we go. That should let you come and see what I'm seeing on my screen. And you have lots of hot links in there, so you want to make sure that it's opening up for you just okay. And that's where your resources are going to be. So welcome everybody. We'll go ahead and get started because we have an hour and a lot of our time is the desire is to get creating and learning about some great new features we have in Adobe Express. You should all be inside the beta or be able to be inside of it. Lindsay's also here to help guide us with this. So real quick, my name is Rebecca Hare. I am the community manager here at Adobe for education. So what does that mean? That I help make sure that we're supporting our community of educators to have everything they need to be able to work with students and make creativity come alive in any classroom. We have educators from across the world who have been a part of this mission for a long time. And we're really excited to get to collaborate in San Francisco Unified School District. And I know many of you, I've collaborated with SFUSD for a number of years when Lindsay was there. I designed learning spaces. I've written a couple books about it. As a high school teacher for 8 years, taught middle school, taught 4th grade science and pre-K. And before that, I was a designer. So have lots of really fun ideas for us to kind of get kicking back in and showing you Express. Lindsay, do you want to introduce yourself real quick? And everyone else, we can introduce ourselves in the chat.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Blass. I do know many people that I'm seeing pop into this room, which is exciting. For those of you that I don't know, I used to work in San Francisco Unified up until not this last April, but the April before. And that's when I joined the team over at Adobe. Back in my teaching life, I taught 4th grade, I taught middle school. I also worked on the digital learning team. And so it's just very exciting to be able to still partner with all of you. And so if you're loving the things that you're seeing today and you're thinking about how you can use it in your classroom, please stay in contact. I'll make sure that you have my contact information because I am local here in San Francisco. We've got Rebecca special guesting us all the way from St. Louis, but I am local and I partner with a lot of our SFUSD teachers on a regular basis. So would love to stay in contact.
Yay, awesome. Okay, let's get started creating. So you have this link, hopefully that's working out. Oh, chat is only DM right now. Oh, that's why I'm getting these direct messages. How is that? How is that? Can we figure that out on, I have everyone in the meeting when I click on it. So is everybody getting
it's probably just how they have the settings set up for security. So apologies to that, Rebecca, and I will watch our DMs. I'll be trying to moderate for her. So probably if there's questions that are more time sensitive, you'll want to DM me.
And
because
interrupt.
she'll be sharing.
I've got it over to the screen. So you all have this link. Lindsay just put it into, that's our resources for today. And so really quickly want to make sure we hit all the things in the good place. So this is our session breakdown. Intro and some session goals. We're doing that right now. We introduce ourselves. Our goals are these, actually, to get through these 5 steps. So number 1, I'm going to show you some really cool new features in Adobe Express. If you've used it before, if you've never used it, we're going to kind of highlight how a student can create, how you can create, and like what are some of the new unlocks. Lindsay will contribute as well. So many things have happened even the past day. We get like 10 emails a day saying this new feature's here and this new feature's here. So after this meeting today, new things could happen inside of this this tool that we didn't tell you about today, and they just are brand new because it's in beta and new things are being unlocked. We literally have teams working around the clock to make these things happen. So I'm going to demo that for you and show you how to access it for SFUSD in particular. And that's going to be about 20 minutes. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible because then we're going to jump into our challenge section. And this is if you are playing along at home, we're going to scroll past this real quick. We have a lot of different back to school resources. Prepare your space. This will hot link you to another site that actually has templates linked to it and 5-minute tutorial videos for each one of these things. So you could jump into one of those places. You can play along with me. And at the end of this 25 minutes of creation time, I just redid this so that they would switch sides. So you should see this a little bit differently. We have a Create-a-Thon Padlet. You can share what you've created to the Padlet, and so you can see what everybody else did. No expectations that anything is finished. That's on the Padlet. You can just do a screenshot like, hey, I kind of tinkered with this. This is a no expectation and very happy zone. And then at the end, there's a button for session feedback for me. Again, we're right in the middle of beta. So how can we make these kinds of experiences better for everybody else? So now, without further ado, logging into Adobe Express at SFUSD. So for today's session, you're going to be doing the new version of Adobe Express. This is actually what we're unlocking for everybody. And so that's new.express.adobe.com. And so Lindsay's already put that into the chat, and as I knew she would. And you want to make sure that you're logging in with your school email, because it's in beta right now. So basically, and you can always log in with like any Gmail account, and you can decide to go into the new one, but you won't have the education version. We had to go in on the back end and have our team sign everybody up at SFUSD because currently it's locked for the education version. Not everyone can sign up. So you'll get the version like what your students will have. And of course, like we said, it's going to keep updating and keep changing. So any questions you guys have about logging in, great time to either DM Lindsay or just ask about how to do this. And then coming soon, the Adobe Express app will be inside of your Clever portal, and you'll be able to go right to it there. Anything else you want to add for the logging in, Lindsay?
Yeah, just a note about it. So the Express app is already in the Clever portal for SFUSD, but like Rebecca said, what we're showing you today is the new Express, which is currently in beta. SFUSD has like exclusive access, as do some of our districts that we partner really closely with to the beta. And pretty soon, the experience in the new app is just going to go boop, 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 and switch to exactly what you're seeing today. But currently, in the app that's on Clever, you won't have access to all the like really cool video features that Rebecca shows and all that. So your students can also log in using that link that I gave you, that new.express.adobe.com that's in the chat. And then we're definitely going to share communications like in Oasis, in all of the SFUSD channels when the new features are live in the Clever app, because we know it's so much easier for students to just click into Clever, and that's coming really soon. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's jump right in. So this is the new.express.adobe.com, and I'm logged in with my fictitious teacher account, Rebecca Hare, and this not me person, because I use this sometimes for videos. So that's not me, but this is the beta account. So when you go into the new Express for the first time, you'll see if you're here, it should say beta in the top left corner. If you have gone to the previous version of Express or the in-market current version of Express, you probably see a little banner at the very top that says, do you want to try out the beta? Then you want to go back and try to do the new express.com. You can figure that out. We're going to just spend about 10 minutes kind of playing around and showing you some of the new features. And then of course, please ping Lindsay, she'll interrupt me, and we'll make this a really fun thing to do. So quick tour of the interface. What's exciting about this new Express is Adobe's been working on this, I think, for 18 months. And the idea is to give students and teachers the only thing that they would ever need to create with. So this is a video tool. This is a graphic design tool. There's web pages, there's animation. There's more things that we're not allowed to say yet because you're not all under NDA. But in the next few months, some features are going to be coming out. I think, are we allowed to talk about one of them, Lindsay?
We are, because podcast is in beta.
Podcast is in beta. So podcasting is going to come to this. It's a really, we got to see the demos of this. That is a public beta right now. That will eventually, there's other ones that we got to preview this summer that people were oohing and aahing about that will be unlocking in October, November, December. So if you're like, it doesn't have everything I need right now, know that basically all of our Creative Cloud apps, which is more than 25 apps, animation, graphic design, video animating, they've put everything in. Every team worked on Express to give the lightest and most easy features to a web-based tool to make it really intuitive for kids. We're working with teams for accessibility to improve the accessibility on it. I was just on a meeting about that. So it is constantly an improvement, and we're looking for different ways to improve it. But let's get into like actually what the tool does. So know that it's designed to evolve. That's, I think, the most important piece. So when you come here, you're going to see on the left panel, the plus button, the home screen. That's where we are now, and that's shaded. Your stuff, which is used to be projects, that's all the things you've created. Now, if you do have a current version of this, you've been creating things, those things will migrate over. Some of the video pieces you won't be able to edit anymore because our video editor is different, but don't worry about that because the video editor is so much cooler. You'll be excited about that. Then we have a whole other thing for educator resources. This takes you right into some lesson plans and different pieces. We're not going to get into too much of this stuff because we're going to start creating, but just know like this is your interface. On the left is where you can kind of navigate. Then at the very top level, the top shelf, we have different things for you and students to get creating with: poster, video, web page. If you scroll down, you're going to see quick actions. You'll see the animate from audio, which is our light animation tool that you can choose a character. That's now embedded into this tool. And then there's remove background, generate QR code. And these keep evolving and changing. So this quick actions, you can scroll through and say, oh, this is something I can do. And it guides me through in one, like with 1 or 2 clicks to make something really simple. Then we go down to templates. We're not going to worry about those, but then you can click on the templates and work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of do a quick demo into a couple of the cool new features and show you, and then we're going to get you all creating. So again, please, Lindsay, interrupt me if we've got questions and I'm missing something. So we're going to start off with maybe one of the first oohs and ahs, which I think is really fun, which is animate from audio. This is actually going to be our first challenge when we get back. And animate from audio basically comes from our tool called Character Animator, which is a professional tool that they use to make some, I forget what it is. There's some television shows made with that. And I should know what they are because everyone's seen them except for me. But so they're obviously animated television shows. And so what happens is it actually films the person who's creating and then copies and mimics all of their expressions. The lighter version of this and animate from audio is actually just taking the audio inflections that you have and animating the character based on that. So I have lots of characters I can choose between. My favorite one is absolutely Stardust. Let me see where she is. She is our, don't tell me there she is, Stardust. There she is. There's lots of other ones. Well, they are. We don't really know Stardust's gender, but since she's my voice, I give her my gender. Stardust can be anything that anybody wants her to be, them to be. So character, there's that. Then you have a background. Brand new to this, we actually have a transparent background, which I'm going to go ahead and choose, or I can choose a bunch of different backgrounds that are super cool. I can even upload my own image or choose a color. And I can also choose the size that I want to actually resize in. So if I want something that's wide, if I want something for a story reel or a square, I'm going to leave this in square. It doesn't really matter. So again, this is popped up as a quick action. If you're in a busy classroom, you can do enhanced speech. That is true as before. What that does is it uses our podcast AI to remove the background noise. And we actually have tested this in really noisy classrooms. I think some of you might have been a part of that. And it works. So you don't have to worry about like kids speaking into cones or sending everyone out into the hallway. I'm not going to click on it right now because I'm in a quiet environment and it takes a little bit longer to process. So I'm just going to do a quick record. Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I am so excited to be here for Digital District Day. Now, what's happening is you can see the little purple box around my character. By the intonation of my voice got bigger and smaller, and that's actually the AI interpreting that, and it's going to give her different movements. I showed this to my aunt last week, who was so excited. She's an educator for 30 years and just retired. And she was like, can you make them move? Can you tell them to walk up the stairs? And I was like, no, not yet. They're going to stand still, but they'll move their arms around. And you don't really get to choose what they do. They're just expressions. This is still really light. Remember, like a second grader can do this. We've had kindergartners do these, do a book review, explain yourself, tell about something. So it's intended to be very, very simplistic. We currently don't have avatars that you can upload yourself or choose from, but the team knows that we want this and they might be working on it for us. So in the meantime, you have these really adorable animations. We've got a thumb war going on. So as that exports, you have an animation, and that's one of the longest exports that we have within the tool because it just created a brand new animation for me just for my voice. So since I did this as a transparent background, it doesn't allow me to download it because we can't download those files. So it's going to ask me to open an editor. I can also preview here. And I actually don't know if I turned my audio on. This is Zoom. So tell me if you can hear this. My name is Rebecca, and I am so excited to be here for Digital District Day. And you can see that it also does a live caption, which is really, really great. So you can imagine like the exporting capabilities that are going to be in the future and accessibility things that they're planning for. So I'm going to open this in editor. This is a thing that really blew my mind because before we had this in beta and this existed, and it was just this standalone video. So now we're going to jump into the multimedia editor. I'm actually going to I'm going to add it. Oh, of course, we're right in the middle of beta, so something's going to go wrong. We have to expect this all the time. Hopefully it's going to go better. So what's fun is I brought my little video in, and you can actually see that I have a timeline down here. This is not typically how I show people our multimedia editor for the first time. But I wanted you to see how, like, the walkthrough with this piece. And we're going to go ahead and add some things in and explain the interface of the multimedia editor. So the multimedia editor, I'm going to give this a project. This is going to be Digital District Day. Hate live typing. Makes me so nervous. My spelling goes everywhere. So I've titled the project, it saved it. And, or I think it is, there it is, it did it. Project saved successfully, it's renamed, fabulous. And I've got my cute little person here. And I've got my timeline. So I'm going to give you a little tour of what the multimedia editor is. So before, if you've ever been in Express, we had our graphic design editor, and then we had our video editor. Now we have our multimedia editor. It all happens in one single space. So I can take a static graphic and add animations to it and turn it into a video. So I'm going to show you that really quickly to kind of give you an idea, and then we're going to jump back in and edit this one a little bit more. And I'm keeping track of my time. I've got like 9 minutes left. So the multimedia editor is really where we're going to spend kind of the bulk of our time. So I'm going to go ahead in here and I'm going to choose a poster. I'm going to browse from templates and grab something I think that might be kind of cute. This is actually a really great one. We have this in our resources. You could edit this today too, if you chose. So here I am. I'm in my editor, and I have a static graphic. So quick tour of the interface. A couple things have changed, and some things are the same. On the left, on your left side panel, you're going to have all the things that you can add in. On the top, that's going to be how you control like the actual artboard and the art space. So if you want to resize the space, if you want to change to a different color theme, if you want to change your background color, if you want to zoom in, all those things happen at the top. So you have to think your page properties are at the top and your elements and things you add in are on the side. And eventually it becomes very simple to remember and understand. I'm going to go ahead and title this.
And can I add too with that, Rebecca, for us, it can seem a little daunting because we're adults and we like to know exactly where everything is. And if we click on it, what is it going to do and all the things. You'd be amazed. You know, I've gotten into a lot of third grade classrooms in SFUSD. The students, you know, even without the teacher walking them through the platform, can figure out so much of it out intuitively. So
yeah, and this is tested on kids. And like so just to be fair, side note, I taught Creative Cloud tools, so professional design tools that I remember crying over at university. And even with my students in high school, I would say like, they didn't know how to do something. I was like, I'm sure, like, let's ask a friend, let's do something else. This one is so much more simple for kids at every grade level that even some, you can't break it. So and what's nice is every time you click on something, the interface will change. So I'm going to show you that this is how we moved over to a poster. So I'm going to click here on the text. I've clicked on it. You see, first of all, that my text is highlighted with these little white dots in the corner and purple outline. You also see that on the left screen, now my text panel showed up. In a Creative Cloud tool, in our professional tools, these panels are all over the place and very, very overwhelming. And if you click on something, you don't know what's going to happen. Instead here, it only shows up because I've clicked on my text. So it says, hey, what do you want to do to the text? And so it has some recommended fonts that I can choose between. This is AI as well, but I think that I chose a better font because I like Railway better, so I'm not going to listen to the AI. I can change the like the thickness of my font. I can change the size, all the regular editing tools that I can do. I can change the text layout. I can even switch my fill color if I want to. And of course, we have our little eyedropper tool, which is from Photoshop again. So I can choose, and actually you can't see this, but this is for the first time for those of us who are super nerdy about this. This eyedropper tool lets you leave express an eyedrop from your desktop or other places around us. Never happened before. So I discovered that the day. Super, super amazing.
And
So like, let's
Darcy,
say I
that's
want
a
the,
great question, and you're probably going to go here eventually. She was asking about if you're limited to like one page or if there's an option for a series of pages.
oh, that's a great.
I don't want to go out of order, but put that in the back of your mind.
Yes, yes. So that's actually, we're going to show that in just a second. Great, great question. So then down here, I can add shadow. So these are all things, again, kids can just tinker with. What happens if I do that? Nothing breaks. Things like there's slight changes because I've got a black background on this. And every time you add something in, like I added a shape in before, it's purple. So you see that I had it. If I add an animation in, all right, so this is a static graphic. We're going to jump into pages in a second. I can add an in animation, a looping animation, and an out animation. This is true for every element that I add. So like, let's say I want to animate it in, and I'm going to have it drop into the hand. I can hover over each one of these and test which one I want, but we're going to go ahead. You can do this later. I'm going to have it bungee in. I can actually change the duration of this, and look what happened below. My graphic interface just popped up because I added something that was temporal. I added time. I added an animation. So now I have a timeline and I can see what's happening in my timeline. You don't have that in a static graphic. It only shows up when you've added a video or you've added something else in. So when you click on anything, I'm just going to have this bungee in. I can play around with more things. You can do that later. You don't need my help for that. I'm going to go ahead and click off the text, and I'm going to go back here. I can hide my animation timeline, or I can click show layer timing, and anything I click on, it will show me how long it's in. If this feels overwhelming, just ignore it right now. It'll make more sense later. But so I'm back to my graphic. I have this here, and you can see I have page 1 of 1. I want to explore a couple more things, and I'm going to show you how the different pages work in. But the more pages are over here, and you can add unlimited pages to this. So the next thing over here, I can add elements in. I can choose any kind of element if you want to put something out there. I think we're like, if we look for volcanoes, I can type it in. I have volcano design assets that come in. I can click on those, and these are illustrations that we pay illustrators to make that are completely free for your students to use. So instead of downloading something and worrying about copyright issues, it's all right there in the tool. But if I don't like this, maybe I wanted volcano background. I have a bunch of volcano backgrounds. Shapes, I think they're still working on them because I've not seen a shape yet. So I don't think there's any shapes yet, but there are icons. And so we have volcanoes. So even if I change this to just volcano, I suddenly have dozens, if not hundreds of volcano illustrations. And then these are great because they're icons, and I can actually change the color of them. So if I bring my volcano up over here, you can see that I have this selected. My panel on my left now has changed and says icon at the top. Anything I click on, that panel will change and will say, this is what you can do to that thing that you have selected. Does that make sense to everybody? And that's just all the kids really need to know. I'm going to delete this volcano because it doesn't work with my design. I can add text in, and text, we have different text formats. I can just click add your text, and it's going to show you the text panel I had before. I can change that. I can add media in. I can add photos in. I can always add my own, but again, we have thousands of images that have been through safe search. So they're appropriate for K-12 audiences. And these, I have photos. I also have videos now. So look at this. We used to have to find videos, volcano. Let's see what I find. Let me just try to spell volcano first. All right. So lots of awesome volcanoes. You can search for anything and see what you find. It tells me how many seconds long this is. So here is a volcano video. I can pop that in and bring it into my project. And again, you'll see, like, I can move it around. It just has a little play button because it shows me a video. And look what happens to my panel on my left. I added that in. Now I'm in my video editing panel. I can crop a video, which is mind-blowing. So like, I don't like this random awkward square. I want to go ahead and put it in a circle. Now my video can be cropped inside of the circle. And then I can also change, I can mute my video. I can speed up my video to 100%. I can change the opacity. Maybe I want my video to be like transparent. I can also add blend features, and I can also animate my videos entrance, looping, and exit. So like I said, all elements you can bring in like this. So this is kind of a random video that we put over in the corner. And you can see it kind of playing there. This is what I would look like, but we don't really want this in there, but that's something you can add. All right, so now templates, you can bring templates. You can also bring your own stuff in. Let's hit the pages real quick. So, and then I'll show you one more really, really mind-blowing thing. And I think that we will be ready to have everyone explore. So up here at the top, we said this is for page. I'm going to go ahead and click on view all pages. That's right here. If I click on that, you can see that these are all the pages that I have, which is just one. If I want to, I can add a page and it's going to give me a blank page. If I want, otherwise, I can click on the three little dots up here and say duplicate my page. That's going to give me a duplicate. This is really great for kids to be like, hey, especially the kids that move really fast, I want you to make 3 versions of your design. Then I can actually go through, change out my copy. Maybe I'm going to switch this image out of this hand with something else. I'm going to make I'm going to switch something out. I'm going to play around with things. I'm going to change colors, and I'm going to make different versions. And what's really fun with this, I love how that totally like lost what I was doing. It's like, I can't handle it, Rebecca, you're too fast. This is when things are in beta. Sometimes they'll get a little bit worried, but I can make a different version. And then I go back and I have all my pages again, right here of the things that I've created. And then with these, of course, because this is a video, because it has an animation to it, the pages have that video temporal piece to it. The last thing I wanted to show you, so we brought in our animation before. We have our amazing little Stardust. I have another video that I took of myself right before this. It takes a second just to upload. This thing is brand new. I think this happened like a week ago. So here's an awkward video of me. And just in my house, just like next to my, and it's embarrassing because you can actually see that I don't have a, hi, I'm Rebecca here, and this is all about me. So I made that. You can actually see the live captioning comes out because I brought this video in, which is again, super, super cool. This button right here, I've selected my video. Remember, we're in our editor. I can remove the background. So it's going to take a second. It's going to figure out which is the subject. And I haven't done this before. I should have tested this before, but I just jumped in and threw this in. So the remove video background feature is something that we wanted for a long, long time. And so you can take a video of something and then upload it, and then it has to like upload the video fully, and then you can choose remove background. So once I have that in there we go. Let's watch the video now. Hi, I'm Rebecca here, and this is all about me. And if obviously I don't want the walk up and the walk in. So I'm going to go here to my show layer timing. I'm going to select my video, and I can actually crop my video so we don't get that first walk up part. And then we don't get the walk away part. So you can have, for those of you who are interested in more video editing, there's quite a bit you can do within this really simple interface. So I just cropped it there. And then now I have my video that just shows, start from the beginning. I would add text and different fun things in. So I'll tinker around with this. I'm Rebecca here, and this is all about me.
I love this so much. I love that. I was wondering where you're going to go with that video of you. I was like, Rebecca. You also have a question coming in that probably will be towards the end of your project, but just sort of like when students complete their project, it's like, how can they share and those sort of things. And I do have exciting news that SFUSD has enabled the Google Classroom add-on for Express. So you can actually sort of like push out assignments and get them back through Google Classroom. But again, that's going to be in the coming weeks as all of our features launch here. But I'm sure Rebecca will show you as we wrap the project too, like the different sharing capabilities, because I know they're excited. Like they're already creating and like
time to create.
The chat is running right now.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. So that was those are just the high level pieces. So again, like we have our multimedia editor, and just real quick, so everybody knows this can be confusing, and we'll talk about sharing maybe at the end. All of these things, video poster, it's all the same editor. There's now one editor. It's the multimedia editor. Unless you hit web page, that's the same editor we had before. We're not talking about that today because there's lots of tutorials on it. It's really, really simple. Infographic, multimedia editor. Presentation, multimedia editor. They're all the same. They're just different sizes of graphics. So just know that like there's one editor that does everything except for web page, and you can take all the videos. So we're going to kind of tinker in now. So what we have to do is we have these different bundles that you can click in, or you could just go rogue and play around and make something that's for yourself. But since this was a get ready for back to school creativity session, we have different things, and these all have tutorials in them for you already in beta. So you have quick tutorials. Prepare your space, There's make a welcome video. This actually links you to a video template that you can just substitute things in. So if you do need to get a welcome video for your families done, check that off your list and get that done today. And then again, you have like a really great tutorial from Monica Burns that takes you step-by-step on how to change everything out. You want to make a class webpage. We didn't talk about webpage before. There's a tutorial to show you how to do that, get that done for the year. You want to make a welcome poster for your class. We've got that, an LMS cover, and a class norms poster. That's what you saw me tinkering with before. So that's our prepare for your space. The next one is first days of school. This is actually just stuff for kids to do. So you could just have some fun and play with these. Make your own logo for your class, or have every student make a logo for themselves that they can brand all of their work with for the year. My kids didn't sign their name very often, but they always put their logo on everything. Remix a boring creative template that your kids can do to introduce themselves. Have them create an intro video. We've got intro video templates. You could use that as well. And then of course you can play around with character animate, which is what we showed you before. And then if you want to know how to help students learn to make a student portfolio, we have that. And then finally, last one, we've got our back to school night, which was always the most nerve-wracking night of my year. And I hated staying late. But beyond that, there's Meet the Teacher video. You have lots of families who are unable to come and caregivers who can't make it in, and you can send a video. So we've got 2 different templates on to how to do that and remix that for those for your students' loved ones. How to make a class agenda for the evening, a personal timeline, and then a course outline if you wanted to, and then finally a getting to know you like worksheet or like activity to happen at the event. So those are just some back to school things that we have. They're all clicked through here. And then what we're going to have you do next at the end of this is throw it into the Padlet. So Lindsay, do you think that we should put people in some breakout rooms so everyone can chat and we can pop from breakout room to breakout room? And do you have access to do that or know how to do that in Zoom?
Isn't that a great question? Let me pull up breakout rooms. All right, just, you know, I got this. Let's see if I create, how many people are in the room now? About 50?
I can't see the number, so.
I think
It doesn't show
I'm at
me. I
about
just
50.
see
There's 47.
47. Thank you, friends. I'm going to create rooms so that you'll have 4 or 5 people in your room, and then you can just sort of explore the resources together, share your questions, and you can even just start clicking around and creating. Like I said, us as adults are a lot more afraid to like start clicking around and creating than students. Like, just get in there. You're not going to break the internet. It comes with an undo button. I wish life came with an undo button. Like, it's all the good things. So the important link to bring into this is the resource link that we'll drop in the chat again as you go into your breakout rooms. Rebecca, how long are we going to have them in breakout rooms?
We're going to do 20 minutes.
Okay. And so I'm going to go, oh, wait. And then we'll just have 5 minutes to close out. Yeah.
5 minutes close out. Yeah.
Okay. So you are going into your breakout rooms for 20 minutes. Your task again is to find something that is relevant and meaningful to what you're doing in back to school right now. Am I correct in this, Rebecca? I'm just checking my own understanding.
And start making, if you're really worried that you like don't know anything, choose just a simple poster and just tinker around. Make something, you don't have to print it out, but just get in and create something. Hopefully it's useful for you for back to school. Lindsay and I will pop around through the breakout rooms and answer questions. So, and do demos and everything that you need so you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. And then I will drop in the chat, but I'm going to create, let's see, going to create these rooms. And it does look like we are either 4 or 5 per room. So when you get there, introduce yourselves, pull up the page and start creating, start having fun. Lean on your colleagues. I think I just opened rooms. Let me know if I did indeed open. Oh yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up.
So yeah, people are, or everyone's just leaving the session. That's
everyone's done.
Great. I don't see the rooms. Can I go and pop through them?
You should be able to. So take a look at the bottom where it says more and there's 3 dots.
Yes.
If you click on the more and the 3
Breakout
dots,
room.
yeah,
Got it.
just go join and bounce around to the different rooms. And
Fabulous.
I'll help you manage the chat and the logistics here.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to start jumping through them. I'll do 1, 2, 3. I'll do them in order.
Perfect. I'll broadcast the resources to the rooms too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, those of you still in the main room, let me know if you're having trouble joining your breakout room and I can try and help you out. Building my Zoom skills back up. See, did any of you need help getting into your breakout rooms? See. Do you need help getting in your breakout room there? Is it not letting you? I can see if I can resend it. Oh, it looks like that room 9 kind of fell apart, huh? Is that what happened, Donald? I'm looking down at room 9. Oh, I can't hear you for some reason, and I don't think you're on mute.
Is it muted again?
There we go.
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, good. I was having trouble with my audio. I couldn't hear anything.
Oh no.
So, but can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh,
I will join the breakout room then.
okay, cool.
Sorry about
Let
that.
me know if you need any help. No worries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun. All right. Let's see. Anyone else need help getting in their breakout rooms? Just let me know. Let me know, and we will get you there. Let's go to. Let's see. I think I've got Martin and Ruben still need rooms. Hi. It's some of the rooms didn't really end up getting people. And so I dissolved room 10. Room 6 looks like it's only 2 people. Do you want to ask them if they want to join a different room? I could bump them into room 5 that has 3.
Yeah, let me go jump there. I'll go ask him.
Yeah, ask them. I can easily bump them.
All
And
right,
then,
I'm on it.
yeah, I got a couple people just chilling.
Hello, quick question. Is it possible, hi, if you can enable screen sharing.
Let's see
Because
if
we
I
were
have
trying
those
to share our
capabilities.
screen and we can't.
You know, I'm not sure if I have those capabilities. It might be one of the settings, you know, that they applied to all of the Zoom calls. Because I'm not seeing it where I usually would. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I hope I'm not messing this up, but let's see. Start sharing when someone else is sharing host. I think I did it. Check.
Cool.
Let me know.
Okay.
And everyone stay safe and secure. I see why
Let's
they
see.
would
How
have
do I get
disabled
back
it.
into my
But
breakout room?
I
Can
know.
you put me back in my breakout room? I think I was 7.
Were you in? Okay, let me find you, Janaya. Move to.
Oh wait, I see it. Never mind.
Oh, you got it? Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Have fun.
Hi, I'm sorry. Could you share the link to the Adobe or beta, the website where we're
Yeah.
mapping?
So
Thank you.
there's 2 links. One is the link to the main page for everything. So I'm gonna put that here. My main page. Okay, and then the other is the beta login, right? So this is the exclusive access that SFUSD has to these beta features that Rebecca showed you. Okay, you got them?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hello. Do you need help with the breakout rooms? Hey, all, let me know if you need help getting into your breakout rooms. You should be able to join. Hi, did you need help getting in your breakout room?
I was in room 1
Room
And I-
1, let's see how we can do
with
this.
Raphael, I think.
Oh,
it
how
is.
funny. You got unassigned somehow. I'm popping you back in here.
Thank you.
We're all muted. All
Everyone
right, everyone's coming back. Lindsay, you're muted. I think.
within 60 seconds. So I think most people are clicking it right now. And I'm going to make sure, Rebecca, too, that everyone has my email if they still need support moving forward, because we're going to have a lot of sessions for SFUSD this year, a lot of support. So today's just like scraping the surface.
Well, I think we're getting everybody back. Has the countdown happened?
I believe so.
Awesome. Okay, I was just going to share. So if you would like to, let me share my screen. If anything you created, I know sometimes 20 think about your students. You're like, you've got 20 minutes to do this task. And now you had 20 minutes and like, maybe that was a lot, maybe that was a very little, maybe you had other things you were working on. But hopefully you got some time to kind of tinker and explore and think through. I heard lots of really great conversations in the rooms that I was able to go into. And you have some ideas of how to get your students creating when you go back to school in a few days. So I'm going to share my screen and show you one more kind of fun thing. And Lindsay, as I'm sharing my screen, do you want to go ahead and just tell everybody about all the cool opportunities that you've got going on throughout the year?
Absolutely. So like I was sharing before everyone was back, today's only scraping the surface with Adobe Express. There's going to be so many different opportunities to learn. We'll share out in Oasis once we have more professional learning scheduled throughout the year, but there should be something about every month for you to learn more and just to have structured support in using this tool. So we want to make sure that we're like right by your side and we're working with the digital learning team on that. In the meanwhile, though, I know a lot of people, just had initial questions as they were getting in. So I want to make sure that you have my email, just because, like I said, I'm local. SFUSD has a very special place in my heart. So you can reach out to me directly if you're like, what was that link again? What was that thing again? What are we doing? And then I'll also make sure that I'm able to like steer you to the opportunities that happen with SFUSD, because you're not alone. There's a ton of teachers using Adobe Express and SFUSD. So a big support network out there for using this as your creative tool.
Yeah. And so if you have any other questions, we can stick around in the chat. I was going to show you something fun from the 2 random things that I made today. So what I did was I went ahead and I copied and pasted my background video that I had cut out. I played around with the layer timing. So again, if you click on something, you can see how much I've led in the layer. This actually brings in like pro video editing tools for kids to use. And if you think this is overwhelming, your second grader probably won't. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this. It's kind of funny. So I did our animate from audio, which you can mash up in the editor. So this is just for you guys. Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I am so excited to be here for Digital District Day. Hi, I'm Rebecca here, and this is all about me. So you can see my audio is a little funky on that. I can actually go through and change the volume on all of those different pieces. I can throw in some background music. We forgot to show you about that. We also have hundreds of thousands of free background musics and things that your students can bring in. So the nice thing is all the things that they might need, or let's say most all the things they might need, is actually right in the tool. So hopefully you can come up with a really fun way to get them creating right away and making their thinking visible and just feeling empowered because create our company, one of our executives keep saying creativity is the new productivity, and every kid really needs to have those skills to be able to share their thinking and what they've discovered. And with Express, they can do it inside and outside the classroom. So we are 1 minute to time. Definitely please, hopefully you had some time to kind of tinker and create and chat and come up with something really beautiful to make this next year special for you. So Lindsay shared her email. If you go to our page, you're welcome to give feedback to this session, this very quick intro session, and we'll keep connecting with you this next year and providing hopefully more and more opportunities to get your kids creating. So feel free to unmute yourself if you've got any questions. I think we can hang out for a few minutes. Lindsay, I don't know how strict they are.
Well, and if you want to just keep rolling with Adobe Express, our colleague Martine has a session that's starting in just 5 minutes. It's alternative assessment with Adobe Express in the age of AI. So thinking about like with everything we're hearing out there with ChatGPT and everything, Martine is going to be just sharing a little bit more. And if you really are like eager to get started with Adobe Express right now, Martine also has after lunch, he has at 1:15, getting started Adobe Creative Educator Level 1 certification. So you actually could, and that one's a longer session. That's the 1:15 to 2:45. And you'll get in and you'll create using the different features. And for that one, you actually become an ACE, an Adobe Creative Educator Level 1 certified teacher. So if you want some more opportunities today, you can just kind of follow me around because I'm going over to Martine's session right now.
Yeah, and Catherine had a great question. Can we use the beta during the year? Yeah, what's going to happen is there will be a shift, and what is beta will just be Express. And so all the things you're creating right now in this account that you have will just be, someday it'll just be Express. It won't be new Express or beta. It will just be Express. And so, yeah, everything you're creating is safe for future use.
Well, friends,
Thank you all.
Martine and Rebecca, thank you. I love learning. I always learn so much from you too. Thank you, everyone.
This is really fun. I love San Francisco. I've been to so many schools there, so it's really fun to get to hang out with Mass FUSD people. So thank you for having me back. And user resources, add to the Padlet. Let us know what's working for you, and have a really great school year.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Thank you all.
Thank
So
you.
fun.
Thank you. I was busy working on my poster.
Oh, so we share it when you can. Put it on the Padlet. It'd be lovely to see.
So I'm a beginner. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
I have a question, and I don't want to
Yes.
sound like I don't know much, but I don't. But how do I go to the next session? I got in this one, and I don't know how I got here.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you got in. I think what you do is I'll end this session, and you should take you back to, well, there's a main page, which is the virtual event.
Okay.
And it'll show you which sessions are in progress and which sessions are starting soon. Do you want me to, do you have that, the events page?
I don't know.
I'm going to put this in the chat. I don't know if this will bring you to your events page or just to my events page. Let me put this here. And see if that link to the Zoom events page, that's what you had in your email or however they invited you. If you go back to that, because this opened up in a Zoom meeting,
Okay.
and then it should connect you. And that's not a stupid question because I don't know how to do it either. I'm just a guest here. So I also get confused with Zoom. This is why Lindsay, I was like, Lindsay, make rooms. Like, so that, but your invitation or maybe that link will get you back to the event page.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're super welcome. I hope it works out.
You're awesome.
Anybody else? Everyone's maybe taking a little break. All right, I'll go ahead and shut this down. Have a fabulous day. Thanks everyone for joining.